Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me.
You are now tuned into the Boxing Voice Radio. Join us every Thursday and Sunday live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. We're bringing you a live Border Wars update. Before our flagship edition, we will still be here at our normally scheduled time. So remember, you can always
join us every Thursday and Sunday live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
So right now, we're going to be talking strictly Border Wars. If you don't know what that is, and if you do know what that is, if this is not something that interests you, you should just check on out. If this does interest you, hit that thumbs up button. We brought you back another update. We're going to be giving you a little update on the Rockstar. You know him as Robert Ortiz from Escape the Fate, the drummer, here on the show. And we're going to give you an update on him and Eric Cruz's fight. There's definitely some drama brewing. Team Canada back, and they're back strong. Two new opponents, the Garcia brothers, Eric Garcia and Chris Garcia, making some noise, and definitely have me interested in these new Canadians. My type of guys. They're talking some Charlo brothers type of shit. They're two brothers, so we'll see what type of heat they bring come January 16th. Plus, there's a little U.S. beef brewing amongst some of the U.S. team, and we'll bring you that as well. Matt, the Hipster Hunter, isn't in the Golden State, but instead here at the Jersey Garden, right? So what we'll do is we'll go on over to him now.
Dollar DiBiase production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it? Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com. You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rope into a knockout. Now, when the main thing is, I just hope the guy, I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes. The Hipsters here. Haters beware. And yes, I love Border Wars show. And whenever there's some drama going on behind the scenes, we always want to do a show. We always want to talk about it. We always want to shed some light, being a little bit more transparent than some of these, more legitimate boxing promotions, and tell you, the people, the fans, the listeners, what is truly going on, who is ducking who is being a diva, these new matchups that need to be made. We're obviously going to discuss it with you, the listeners, and should be fun. Can we chop it up with you, Ness, and the callers?
For sure, man. Well, let's get right into it. We've had some changes, and like all promotions, sometimes the matchups must get changed around. It seems to be a theme for SOG, Eric, Son of God, Cruz. He came in last year, trained, took a flight to Florida, was expecting to do battle. His opponent pulled out. He had a late-minute replacement with a guy way more experienced than him. Favored it to win. He upset the apple cart, got the big win, and became an A-side attraction. So an A-side plucked him. Some would say cherry pick. Others would argue that what is Eric Cruz drove the Rockstar so mad he cannot participate in Border Wars 2018. We'll give you both sides of the story, really. Robert Ortiz was meant to face Eric, also known as El Terrible Cruz, because he's definitely terrible in that ring when it comes to raining right hands on you. But Matt, you were in Vegas. I felt a bit of an obsession with Robert. I mean, I felt like he asked any trainer, anyone that would listen, for so much advice on what to do when he's facing a guy 5'6", physically not in the same shape as himself. A guy with a deficit in reach, height.
Yes.
And from the eye test, skill. Most would say that Robert Ortiz
Was a more skilled
slick,
boxer.
Native American Indian Mayweather style was impressive, even if we didn't get to really see him in a full-blown fight. We've seen him use that Native American shoulder roll in sparring, but not in an actual fight.
On paper, there's a lot of reasons to think that Robert Ortiz would have won that fight. Unfortunately, like you said, he was a little bit obsessed. He was talking about it and asking about everyone's opinions about the fight and asking him, like, how can I beat Eric Cruz? He was asking Sean Porter this. He was asking Ken Porter this. He was asking everyone this because he was obsessed. And the reason why the excuse he gave us as to why he is no longer fighting, why he is quote unquote ducking Eric Cruz, makes no sense to me because it's about a confliction of a schedule confliction with the date of the fight and how he cannot make that. But he is the one that set that date.
Yeah, I do want to make that clear, Matt. We wanted him to be a part of this
100%.
show so badly that
he's a dear friend of
TBV kind of scheduled around him. He gave us the dates that his road manager said he should be available. And to his credit, technically, and I'm using air quotes, he is available the day of the fight. It's just he's scheduled to perform live on tour for his band in Dublin, Ireland on the 19th, and his fight would be the 16th. And I am told that that is something like a 20-something hour flight, maybe, or the travel and, you know, just being prepared, sound check. So, again, it could be argued that he's not ducking, but it is definitely, he is not a victim, and he is responsible of being irresponsible because it was his job and duty to give us the appropriate dates, leaving him enough time not only to make it to whatever next concert, but to have sufficient rest in case the fight was as rough as we expected.
This was all agreed upon months ago. And he was the one that drove this date and this time window in which we concluded when we were going to have Border Wars 2. So, unfortunately, Rob, and I know you're listening, Rob. I know you are. I don't feel bad for you. Like, you're ducking, in my opinion. Like, you set this date, and now you're saying that date doesn't work for you, and now you're mysteriously just gone. You leave all of our Border Wars chats. You're ducking. You're hiding, and it's okay. Like, maybe you just don't want to fight. Maybe you just don't want to get embarrassed. Maybe because you are a C or D level
public figure.
Yeah,
public figure.
He's a public figure of some sort. He's in a band, so I understand him not wanting to.
Well, Coach Mitty, because I know you're coming down on him pretty hard.
Yes.
But Coach Mitty gave a good, legitimate excuse. He said, look, this guy's in a band. He's their lead drummer. They're not going to allow him to be injured before a tour or during a tour, which is understandable. We're not going to spend too much time.
But here's the quick thing about that. If Mitty knows about that, then why the hell doesn't Robert Ortiz know about that?
No, absolutely.
When he told us this date.
Absolutely, Matt. That's why we're going to move on. And what we'll do is we'll say this. Eric Cruz has had a string of bad luck. Like we mentioned, he's the true star of this show and of this particular card. Well, fight. He was here before. And I feel bad that he's here again. He consistently has opponents pull out, and they're afraid of him. When he realized that Robert Ortiz was kind of quacking and walking like a duck, he opened up the negotiations with Team Canada.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good idea. He and I, we kind of had a conversation, and we're like, look, these Garcia brothers, they seem to have a lot of moxie. They seem to be maybe from the same place as Ness is from. They're talking in a language that I can understand.
Yes, I agree on that. I agree.
Maybe them going to Angelo's gym, because remember, Angelo Huracan is their trainer, not only Jose's, but anybody in Canada at this point that trains amongst them, right? And maybe they will shame him into avenging his loss, because Listen, I'm no pro, I'm no amateur, I'm just a guy from the street. But to be honest, you know, if I were a pro or amateur and I walked around holding my head up as an undefeated pro or amateur, and I have an exhibition with an unnamed Eric Cruz, and he damn near knocks me out after I talked cash shit, then I go on Canadian television and lie and say I was in an exhibition in the U.S. and exclude the loss that I took. I mean, I would want some revenge. If I were the Garcia brothers, because I hold them so far to be a few of the realest Canadians I've seen coming from Jose's side of things.
Maybe the only real Canadians we've seen.
My point exactly. They need to either check their coach or themselves. How could you be being trained by a guy who's completely ignoring a loss as if it didn't happen? Exhibition, no exhibition. It was documented. There's video. There was a professional elite level trainer that witnessed it, that had to jump in the middle. He saved you, for God's sakes. Save yourself now. Redeem yourself. But he didn't. And it brings me back to Eric Cruz. Eric sent out an offer. You know what Eric tried to do? This is how bad Eric is. Anybody that uses the SOG tag clearly has heart, okay? Andre Ward did it, and he fought everyone. Everyone said he wouldn't, and Eric Cruz continues to do the same. You know what he did? He offered a $300 wager on the bet. He said, let's do it again. You're the one that's experienced. You're the one that's acting like this didn't happen. Well, you know what? Let's put $300 on it. Let's put $300 on it. Let's see, winner take all. And I said, you know what? Let's put another fucking 300 on it. I got 3 on Cruz. But you know what happened with Canada? Because I don't know, this show was titled somehow the Canada's back. No one's answered. No one's answered that bet.
False.
No one's answered that fight.
You're actually false about that. There was one Canadian that did answer it back today,
saying that they were not going to take it.
Was it today or yesterday? It might have been today or yesterday.
Which brings me again to Eric Cruz.
But there was a Canadian that did answer that call for Eric Cruz.
Well, he didn't answer the call. He made a
promo video for it.
There was. This is what happened. Okay, there was a Canadian that answered the call in responding, saying that Huracan was not going to take the fight, but instead there was another Canadian. And again, we've rightfully titled the show "Canadians Are Back" or "The Canada's Back." They're trying. You're trying.
They're making moves. Believe it or not, they're making moves.
But to be honest with you, I don't mind this Canadian that called out Eric Cruz. I'm just still trying to leave that door open because I'm such a nice guy. And I'm a guy that I would like someone to give me an opportunity to redeem myself as well, had I suffered such a devastating loss on U.S. soil.
Maybe Huracan knows he's going to lose that rematch.
Or maybe he thinks he can go long enough, quiet enough, and we'd forget.
True. Even though we're the #1 boxing podcast on iTunes, poor guy thinks he's going to have a boxing career, being a duck of a novice. I don't know what he's thinking. But that Canadian, though.
Yeah, you brought him up. Let the world know who is calling Eric, who is stepping up to the plate, who's not afraid of SOG, El Terrible, Eric Cruz.
I really want to shit on this matchup.
I do too.
But
it's not a good matchup. I'm sorry.
To give him respect.
Who? The opponent? The challenger?
Zach, a.k.a. the brother-in-law of Bobby.
No. When he does something as courageous as what he did, especially being Canadian by blood, living in Canada, being related to fucking Jose, he called out one of the most devastating punches on Team USA. After he fought me. So he's seen what Cruz can do firsthand.
I'll put it this way. As somebody who has balls and has taken bad matchups in the past, I understand and I respect what Zach is doing.
Well, it's the easiest route. Listen, if there were more fighters.
If Zach wins, he's instantly back.
And that's my point. If there were more fighters like Zach in this world, you'd get instantly back into the limelight if you'd be daring to be great.
Yes.
Why go the soft touch route? Why get a few tune-ups? He could easily get. I want him to fight Santiago. I think him and Santiago is a more competitive fight than him and Eric Cruz. Listen, heart doesn't win fights.
It's a more competitive fight than him and Eric Cruz, but I don't think it's a good matchup still.
So you think he beats Santiago?
No.
So then what's the problem?
I think that we want somebody else. We want another Canadian.
Chris.
Yes. You know why? Because I think
let me tell you something.
You know why? Because he's not tarnished by you. Zach is tarnished by you in a way.
Well, no. See, again, you're not thinking
unicorn punch.
You're not thinking like you're not thinking like a promoter. He's not tarnished by me. Anybody that immediately fights Zach has the opportunity to outdo me. Let's be honest. I'm putting on my commentator hat here, guys. My fight wasn't the most exciting.
True.
Did I score 2 knockdowns? Did I have shades?
You had one.
Did I have shades of young Ali?
No.
Yes, but there were some lows in that fight. And if someone put the pressure on Zach, they could get a more devastating win in a more spectacular fashion and easily take my clout. You know it. We see it all the time. Barometer fights. Anthony Joshua did it to Deontay Wilder when he knocked out Eric Molina in better fashion. This happens. Eric Cruz could easily come in there, starch Zach Kramer, and all of a sudden Nestor Gibbs looks like shit. It's just the way it works. It's just the way it works. And the same goes for Santiago.
True.
He could take that Zach fight because I think that, again,
Zach
has the body.
I just don't know about it.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. And Santiago, I hope you're listening.
Because Santiago has a skill to beat him, but it's the athleticism.
Yeah.
Zach's an athlete.
I don't see Zach as an athlete. Do you want to do a live fight chat on his fucking previous fight, dude? I mean, you got to look out for.
That was awful.
You got to look out for one weird ass Captain Hook punch. I mean, he brings it from like his ass cheek. There's no way Santiago doesn't see it. And let me tell you one thing. We talk about technique. You know, we're gonna talk about US beef, and you're the one. You're the one always saying, "Oh, Enrique, you don't got any technique." Well, guess what? Zach doesn't have any technique.
Zach has the worst technique.
Chris has better technique. I'm watching Chris hit the bag.
Chris does have better technique.
Exactly. You got Santiago in some trouble. I think the better fight for both of those guys, they're both. I mean, I don't know Santiago the way you know him. You obviously watch him firsthand. But, you know, based off what we've seen in the past, not his new sparring song, Santiago, obviously you've improved already. You've lost weight. Congratulations to you. You know, he's at 220 or under at this point. But I just think about it, Santiago. I think you and Zach is the easier fight. You know?
I put this way. It's definitely something me and TBV West will go and think about.
You should. And then I think we transfer Chris to maybe a guy like Marvin, more evenly matched in weight.
That'd be a good fight.
You know, or we do Chris Butterbean. Chris is what, 245, 250?
Yeah.
Butterbean, we do Chris and Butterbean.
And then you then?
And then we do Marvin. And we missing one heavyweight, right?
You have the list right there.
That's right. I have the list right here. So we would need to do, because I think Cruz and Cantu is a nice fight. That's a nice fight.
I don't know about that.
I seen Cantu popping that jab.
Here's the thing. Cantu is tall.
Yes. But he's the same exact height and listen, he's the same exact height and dimensions as Robert Ortiz.
Really?
So Cruz outside of the weight. Cantu's 215, Robert was 195.
There's the difference right there.
What's the difference? The weight?
That's 20 pounds.
Yeah, they're going to come up. Yo, he said he could get down to 205 and Cruz is already 195. Dying to eat Krispy Kreme.
Yo, but Cruz, come on, man. Like, let's be honest. Cruz hasn't been working hard and just not losing weight. He's been eating junk food still and not losing weight, obviously. So it's not that Cruz can't get down below 195. It's that he's choosing not to. Cruz does not belong. He's 5'7", 5'6". Cruz, you do not belong in the heavyweight division.
Well, he can't get a fight. Where's the brave people at? We need a 175-pounder to sign up for Eric Cruz. Eric Cruz continues to have to fucking be great and jump around all over the division, all over poor Border Wars League, similar to yourself. I know you want to give him advice, but you're in the same predicament because we got to wrap this up, but there's plenty of topics to talk about. TBV USA is a bit of beef, but there's also some urgency, some anxiety. I mean, have we heard from Sean Du? I text him before the show. I'm like, yo. And I got nothing. You know, are you going to be ducked again?
It's likely.
No, this cannot go on.
I'm not saying I'm going to be ducked for this event overall. Like I'm 100% getting a fight. Like if I have to drag some taxi cab driver in LA,
we're gonna get Peralta.
I'm getting someone in there. Okay, I don't give a fuck. I've been working way too hard. I've been working harder than anyone.
That's
here.
what I'm saying.
So I'm getting someone. Now am I gonna get ducked by Sean? Dude, it looks that way. I've texted him. I've tried calling him, etc. He seems to go. He's ghost. He's ghosting right now, and we all know Warren's issues. You know, like we all know that Warren is probably not going to be able to make it, even though Jose has brought that back up.
Which brings me to another point. I badly want the Warren and Matt fight. So I'm recommending we do a get Warren to the U.S. fight donation drive. I'm told the ticket is like $500 to get Warren from Canada to the U.S. So I'm saying right off the bat, I'm donating $50 to get Warren. I'm asking the rest of y'all to help. That's $450 away because that's the fight that I want. Listen, think about it like this. Before you think about it like Ness trying to get money for, Matt's opponent, right? Shandu and this guy are boys. They slept in the same fucking house the last Border Wars. Shandu made everybody oatmeal. We're men. So, yeah, maybe
he made everyone oatmeal.
Maybe.
Yo, his oatmeal was amazing, by the way.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And you might think of that instead of letting the right hand go. But Warren is totally different.
I don't like Warren.
Warren has size. Warren is a southpaw.
So sharp.
Warren is sharp with the tongue. Warren presents a challenge, a threat, and excitement. It sounds like an entertaining fight. He's talking the talk. It's almost like Charles Hatley and Charlo or Lubin and Charlo, two different camps talking as if they can do what they say they can do. And it's only left for fight night. So I'm asking, our most loyal listeners, and obviously the ones that can. I know it's Christmas season and all. But let's help Warren get over here. Why not help him get his ass whooped? I'm going to put out sparring. Matt sparred here on the East Coast with the real boys, and he did well. He's been working out there, so we can believe him now. We can believe him. So let's get Warren out here. And at the same time, let's get some new 175-pounders signing up. Give me a shout out on the email, on the Instagram, on whatever form of social media. Get in contact with me and Matt. Let us know what's good. Fugatti, I know you out there waiting in the wind. Stop asking your wife. Tighten that belt. Say you ready. We need some fighters. Listen, Steven needs another opponent because it looks like Tommy's ducking. Some of Canada's good, some of Canada's not. It's Eric. Eric is the shorter one, right? Eric, you seem to be the lane reader, Eric. And I'm holding a lot of respect in you. I'm letting you know. I'm talking to you I'm talking to you. Look at me, Eric.
Eric Garcia is the one
That's what I'm talking about.
He's fighting Anthony, right?
He's fighting Anthony from Cincinnati, but he's the ringleader over there. Listen, you gotta grab that gym by the horns and take control. Got a lot of fuckery going on over there. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot of motherfucking fuckery going on over there.
There's some fuck shit going on.
You Canadians need to get your shit together. Start sending the proper footage. I mean, cursing into the camera with bloody noses. Honestly, you're really not impressing anyone. Showing us that you know how to bleed. No. Show me you can make someone bleed. If you want me to say ooh or ah. Okay? But take control. If you want me to respect you further. They need a captain. Jose is not that. He's the captain of the clown squad.
Jose is a businessman trying to pawn all you guys into matchups.
No, he is a businessman and a damn good one. And he's a great friend.
He's putting his brother-in-law in against Cruz.
Yeah, but I mean, on paper, Cruz has the disadvantage. He's shorter, smaller, littler reach.
That's good.
No muscles compared to this guy.
I think Cruz finishes Zach within a round and a half.
Well, Cruz does have that killer instinct, man. That's what you never have to doubt about Cruz. But that's why no one's signing up to fight him. No one. True. All these people, don't meet me at a catch weight. Sign up. Don't put your weight in the chat. Don't talk. Don't ask questions. Yo, email. Don't be on Twitter. Email. Email. Social media, DM, private. If you serious, that's how you make it happen. That's how you make it happen. We need fights. We need fights. We got a couple of callers here. Oh, we got
fighters. We have two
we
fighters.
got two fighters on the line as well. I'm gonna go straight out to them. Let's go out to Anthony in Cincinnati. Anthony, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, what's up? What's going on?
Anthony, man. So, how are you first and foremost? And I do want to warn you right off the bat. I am told that the Garcia brothers listen to the Border Wars show religiously. So just keep in mind, anything you say or do will be held against you, and it will January 16th and trigger them.
Oh, of course I know that. I mean, that's the purpose. I mean, I'm looking for him to talk some shit back, make it entertaining. I mean, you know how it is. It just makes for more interesting fights than somebody when we both talking shit. Come on, don't beat Charlo and Lubin. You know, I want something competitive. I want to build up competitive because we already know what's going to happen, but got to make it look good.
What's going to happen, though? Because, I mean, me and Matt over here giving them two Canadians the most credit we've ever given any Canadians. We think at least Eric and Chris not only look, but sound the part.
Eric looks the best, I'll be honest. Anthony, your opponent looks better. Chris does look more amateurs, but Eric looks good. Like, you're in for a tough fight, Anthony.
Yeah, the couple of little videos I've seen, I mean, he looked a little slow, but it seemed like maybe you got a little technique. I don't know, but I mean, if nothing else, my athleticism I'm just gonna walk him down and push him away.
Wow, so you walking him down, huh?
He can swing wild. Oh yeah.
Now, what did you think? What did you think? What did you think of the blood? And also remind yourself to answer the question whether you prefer 3 or 2 minute rounds, because I know the Canadians like pulling fast ones. We were all scheduled for 3 minute rounds the first Border Wars, and then all of a sudden they start begging Kevin Cunningham, who's a world-renowned trainer, to make it 2 rounds, quote unquote, so it could be more exciting. And really what it was because a lot of those guys didn't put cardio in. And I'll remind you, what you don't know is now all of a sudden there's a 403, and usually that's Canada, baby.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you said you mentioned some of the blood. Did they have a video out?
Yeah.
Or
you ain't see the video? You ain't see the video with Eric Garcia gets all in the camera. He's like, yeah, we bleeding over here. I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, he was happy. He was excited. He was bleeding from the nose.
It was pretty lame.
That sounds like some weak shit, man. You gotta go come on broadcast. Oh, I got a bloody nose. Yo, I got hit by a heavyweight in the nose. So what? Who'd you get hit by? Canadian Jose? Like, come on. I spar pro heavyweights and retired pros, like in the gym I work at. I mean, it don't look like much, of course, from the videos, but I'm getting work. Yeah, AB's dad was just at our gym. So this is a local thing going on. You know, Cincinnati is a hot thing. So boxing always has that. Olympians. I mean, AB. Different guys over the years. And what do you think that comes from? We fight, whether you box pro or not. We fight. We know how. You got to. So, you ain't scared of me talking about you got a bloody nose.
That's how I felt, but I did, admire his bravery and the fact that, he's embracing the bloody nose. Because, I'm in there, and when I'm sparring, I'm happy. People are like, damn, you ain't fighting. What you doing? I'm like, I don't know. It's fun. I like it. So I wouldn't want nobody to, deter me.
Yeah, baby. I was figuring out myself. I'm having a little fun and dancing around and shit. But, what you said about the 2-3 minute thing, I train for 3 minutes. But I don't know if they shoot for, is it officially 2 minutes for this?
Well, no, I'm definitely pushing for 3. I mean, 2 is amateur females, right? So, like, I'm not trying to, there's categories.
Yeah, I train for 3. I mean, we go, was it 3 rounds or 4?
3.
3? Okay, well, yeah, that's a cinch. We got it. Shit, I was out running today. I'm working on my new all access, so You know, it ain't nothing I grab about 6 days a week.
We got a bunch of Canadians on. Hey, producer, you see all this? Anthony, let me get to some other callers because I'm pretty sure shots will be fired at you. I'm going to get them Canadians on the line. Don't worry about it. Listen, really quick, I want to go ahead and shout out Iron Sal. Gave a quick super chat donation, and he says, get Warren out here. Hashtag no excuses. So we even got Americans now joining in on the Get Warren to America fund, so there could be no excuses. Matt is training hard. When I release this footage of Matt almost dropping a fucking amateur, okay, I want to see what the people's going to say. And you've never heard me do a Get to Warren to America fund until I seen Matt laying that right hand. I know he's taking it serious. I see him eating salads over here. I might as well turn into Hulk Hogan because he's eating his vitamins too. I'm telling you, it's going to be serious. And Hands of Stone, you heard what I said. You heard what I said. Sign them up. Line them up. I'm going to chop them down easy, early. Look, man, I am the heavyweight division. I'm just saying, especially in fucking Border Wars. There can never be a heavyweight, and I'm going to one. I'm going to one. Next on the line, Matt. But by the time they catch up to me, they're going to ban me from Border Wars is all I'm saying. They're going to say I'm too experienced. Marvin, the Tank, them Texas boys, what's up?
Right here.
You live, Marvin. Talk to us, baby.
Oh, what's up? What's up? What's going on?
Man, we talking, man. We here discussing the fact that poor Eric Cruz is going, you know, a stablemate of yours. For those that don't know, this is Marvin the Tank out of Texas. 3-man team over there, the Texas boys with Kevin Jones, right? Is it Jones or Johnson? Jones, right?
I have no Kevin Jones.
Kevin Jones.
Kevin Jones.
Yeah, man. So there is an offer on the table. And I want to know how you feel about it because I'm glad you called in. Your original opponent, Zach Kramer, who was my previous Border Wars 1 opponent, you were signed up to fight him. Everything was good. You started training. The minute that you submitted some heavy bag footage, he said he wasn't coming to America. Now, all of a sudden, he wants to fight Eric Cruz. How do you receive that?
That's weak. That's weak. That's weak. How you gonna see footage of me and then not just hold on, I'm trying to park real quick. I want you to get in there at a diagonal. And I remember you from last year. I want you to get in there at a diagonal.
Marvin, we're gonna come back. Marvin is definitely at work. We're gonna come back.
And Marvin, when we come back to you, remember, get off speakerphone.
I don't know which Canadian this is, and since I don't know,
they're all ducks. We know it's the Garcia brothers, right? We know because we know they listen.
Hopefully, it's not the Garcia brothers. Because I'm not calling them a duck yet. They haven't ducked. They haven't ducked. But 403.
What?
403. You're live on TBV. This is a Border Wars episode. Who are we speaking with?
Yo, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my friend.
All right. Well, let me introduce myself. This is Chris El Natural Garcia.
Chris.
I finally wanted to just call in and then just, get the people to speak to me at me and not through some other devices.
Definitely, definitely. So, Chris, there is a lot of questions that we have. And look, I don't know how long you've been listening. I do implore you to go back to the beginning of the show and listen how highly me and my co-host spoke about you and your brother. We think that you are definitely
motivating,
dedicated, motivating, and can possibly be the mitigating factor in this team. And I mean that sincerely, right? Because we have a problem, right? I don't know if you know Eric Cruz, but he is the guy that destroyed, decapitated, murdered your coach, Angelo Huracan. And it just so happens that he has been ducked, not once, but twice. His first Border Wars, they ducked him, and that's how Angelo got in there and, signed his death wish. And now this season, they ducked him again. But hold and behold, we have 3 months.
Hold on. But, okay, I'm gonna admit to you that there is a certain level of ignorance that I implore in regards to the material that is embodied in the Border Wars banner. but I'm catching up. I'm trying to catch up on 24 months of content. It's a lot to take in. But I want to just understand one thing about that point you wanted to make. I saw two videos of Angelo fighting. One where he body shot, knocked down a fighter, and then the other where he lost the decision to Eric Cruz. So did he fight twice?
I don't think he dropped anybody with a body shot, but yes, that day he did fight twice. And let me tell you, Chris.
And he wanted to fight more.
Let me tell you, Chris, and we told him not to. Way before that day.
Okay, but I mean,
way before that day. But he said, you know what he continued to say? How experienced he was and how he would knock out 3 people in one day. He also said he wanted to go to Rigondeaux's gym and spar Rigo.
All right. Well, I mean, hey, doesn't this show promote the shit talking, jaw jacking? I mean, he was willing to step up to the ring. Took the competition 1-1. He took a split on a 2-day fight, on a 1-day, 2-fight day.
And Chris,
that's not bad in my opinion.
Chris, it's not bad in my opinion. I think the kid has some machismo. I think he showed some moxie that day, and I think it's only right. He deserves it to himself. He deserves it to his new students like yourself and your brother to only get that rematch and prove that it was just that. It was a farce. He should have never fought twice in one day, and this kid from Texas could never lay a glove on him. Doesn't belong in the ring with him. But I don't respect what he is doing. He's over there training you and acting as if this didn't happen, acting as if this doesn't mean anything. That seems a little strange and odd to me, Chris. And you and your brother don't strike me. I said it. You're going to hear my words. I said, you guys seem like the realest Canadians out the group. You don't strike me as a guy that's going to buy a story about a fight that possibly didn't happen, doesn't mean nothing. How doesn't it mean anything when you got a guy talking shit about you?
I mean, like there's 2 streams here. There's the stream from his continued amateur pro career, and then there is the competition of border wars, and so whatever matters to him the most probably. But let's put that one, and I because you know what, I'm gonna agree with you on the point where if it indeed, just as a man, regardless of, let's just say, official competition entry in like an amateur circuit versus a border wars like this, sort of like whatever we classify that. I'll say that we're gonna parking lot that, because I do want to say, no, I didn't hear the beginning of the show, but I'll tell you that the minute we signed those contracts that were given to us, my flights were booked. Eric and I, we bought our flights. We got points on our freaking credit cards. We bought those flights. There's nothing on our mind other than heading to Los Angeles on January 15th and trying to whoop some ass. That's all we got in our mindset. That, at least from the Garcia brothers standpoint, I can assure you.
And this is exactly why I said the words I said these guys are too real. And right away, look, you agreed with my point, and now we can move on to you, right? And obviously your brother, you guys have brought a little new excitement from the Canadian side. And again, I'm hoping that energy that you guys have in the gym rubs off on guys like Warren and Angelo and even Jose, because Jose didn't quite take it seriously, and that's why he finds himself in a rematch. And I don't want you to do the same. Maybe Jose is in your ear and he's telling you how Santiago isn't this athlete or how you're in this easy fight. But Mike Tyson said it best, Matt. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Punch in the face. I totally agree with you there. And there's no way I mean, like a lot of people, at the end of the day, no matter how we pin this, whether it's novice fighting, whether it's amateur, we were at the Dakota production for fights over here yesterday in Calgary. And you know, it doesn't matter. There's still 2 men going in the ring ready to box. From the first video that I saw Santiago put out to the second, he showed a 40% increase in his abilities, from the way he was standing, from the way he was throwing out that jab, bringing it back, keeping the hands up, a little bit more, elbows in tight. There was a lot of change. The gym, there's video cameras going on. Whatever content is being sent is whatever content is being sent. But every time I'm in the gym, there's film being made. I can guarantee you that. So, no, we ain't taking it lightly. No, we ain't taking it like a joke. And in Jose's defense, he's the one who's kind of brought this opportunity to us, and he brought it to two people who know who are going to take it very, very serious, who are in the gym ready to box another man. I can guarantee you that.
Well, Chris, I only wish that your mom had triplets instead of just twins, because we need a third guy for Eric Cruz, and we would love someone as serious as yourself. I'm going to get to a fellow Canadian of yours. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being a Patreon. Thank you for being part of Border Wars. I hope to see your weight loss journey. Me, myself, I started at 278. I'm down to 216. So I congratulate you on signing up, taking the challenge, getting in the ring, and doing all that it takes, man. Definitely, hat goes out to you. We're going out to another Canadian here. We got the 403-969. You're live on TBV Border Wars episode. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? This is Babyface.
Babyface Garcia, what's going on, brother? I was just telling the public and your brother, that we're excited to have you guys on, man. You guys are bringing definitely some excitement, bringing that moxie, and just a little. You're giving Jose a little street cred over there. I don't know where he found you guys,
does Jose
but
get street cred? Does he get any street cred for them? They get street cred, but I don't know if Jose gets any.
I mean, he's hanging with him. He's hanging with him, But Garcia, man, listen, even your opponent was listening to the show earlier. Everyone is noticing that you got a little bit of natural talent. So, again, I just want to thank you first and foremost, signing up, stepping in the ring, lacing up those gloves. That takes, some heart. But first and foremost, let's interview you, bro. What made you do it? I mean, Jose, this white guy comes at you. He's like, yo, you want to fly to America and fight some guy you never met of and be recorded? What makes you say yes? What is it about Babyface?
Oh man, that's honestly, good question. Reality is that I came in here through Jose, and how I looked at it is as an opportunity to just kind of do what I do. I'm no boxer. This is me getting more technical, but I am an aggressive guy, and Jose knows that. We've gone into bar fights and we've gone into street fights before, and he's seen it happen. And I'm a pretty aggressive guy, and he introduced me to it, and I said, let's go for it. I'm up for any challenge, especially one that has to do with fighting.
Very quickly, you and Jose have gotten into bar fights. Did you just say that?
I can see that. Jose's a little drinker, man. You haven't partied as hard as I have with Jose in Vegas.
I've never seen Jose get
man.
Vegas? Listen, Jose is crazy.
Well, Jose ducked me in Vegas. So I have no idea.
He ducked you everywhere, bro.
That's true.
There's a lot. We're going to get to that part of the Canadian show with Eric in a little bit about Canadians ducking Matt, but we're going to keep it to him right now.
Yeah, no, and I hear you, and that's Jose does have a little temper in him when he has a little liquid courage in him. You should see it; it's pretty wild. But going back to it, he introduced me to this, man. I'm excited. I want to say thanks to you, Ness, even you, Matt, as well. It keeps things exciting. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that's a little bit newer to us, but I'm pretty excited. I'm excited for Anthony as well. I see him putting in the work at the gym. Full respect, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's putting in the work. I can't hate on that. I'm not a camera guy. I'm not the type of guy that's going to be videotaping everything I do. I'm more quiet. Let's keep it humble in a sense. But if I'm on camera, of course, you gotta put up the show. But it's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be a good fight between me and Anthony. He has, I believe, I respect the speed, but he's got to respect the power in his hands. And I'm dangerous with whatever hand he kind of wants to fuck around with. So. It's going to be an exciting fight, man. I'm pretty excited for it.
Wow. So you consider yourself a puncher already. Is this A, because of your past street fights, B, because, I don't know, the sound of the heavy bag, or C, your coach, receiving those shots on the pads and or sparring partners telling you hit hard?
Yeah, it has to be sparring partners, man. I think that based on the feedback that I've been getting with my sparring partners, I'm going up against, bigger dudes. I'm going up against the heavyweight guys around the gym. It's not always on camera, but I'm going up against these guys. And from what I'm hearing, that's the power. So I'm going to go with what they tell me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be too overly cocky, but I truly believe in the strength I have behind my fist. So I guess we'll have to wait till January, see if Anthony feels the same way.
Perfect. Listen, I'm totally excited for that fight. I can't wait. Both of you guys look in phenomenal shape to start. I can't imagine what another 3 months is going to make you guys look like. I do want to bring your attention now to a very same topic that I asked your brother, and it's about Huracan. I don't know what history you know or don't know, but I know everyone knows that he lost to an American. And I just want to ask you, if you come January 16th and you lose to Anthony in the same fashion that Eric Cruz beat Angelo Huracan, and you're offered a rematch, wouldn't you take it?
Oh, there's no question about it. If I catch that L, you know what I mean, from Anthony, I'm signing that contract ASAP. You know what I mean? You got to put that into paper immediately.
Now, what about this?
Something that.
What about this, Eric? What if they tried to sweeten the deal a little bit more, and they say, "Hey, look, man, you're so experienced, you're so good. You said you lost because you fought twice in one day. We'll have one fight the guy that beat you, and put a $300 bet on it that you don't even have to bet. It's a side bet. All you got to do is win and take the $300. All you got to do is win. You don't have to pay if you lose. You just take that $3 if you can win." And that wasn't sweet enough? Yeah, I don't know, Eric.
When you sweeten it up like that, of course. Yeah, there'd be no question I would take that.
I don't know, man.
At the same time, I don't also have, you know, multiple fights around either Canada or the States right now. That's the difference. Where Angelo himself, he was just in Vegas. He was in Toronto, I think, earlier a couple months ago as well, putting in some work. He was just in Edmonton, which is another city here in Alberta, our province or state. So he's putting in work.
Eric.
You know what I mean? For him to be like, let me just schedule this in January, I don't know. That's up to him. What's up, Matt?
I don't know, Eric, but wait. I mean, he's your coach. He's not going to come to your fight? He's going to send all those Canadians to battle without a trainer?
And before you answer that question, Eric, also think about this. All those things he's doing, all those amateur tournaments he's going to, do they have the exposure that the #1 podcast on iTunes does? Do they have the exposure as one of the top boxing YouTube channels has? Like, Angelo being on this platform is huge for him if he's serious about his boxing career. And him not being willing to be on this platform does look indicative of how serious he is in some form or fashion.
That you know, you make a good point in a sense. You make a definitely good point in the sense of you know, his exposure in a way. You're absolutely right. This the YouTubing backing and the sort of publicity that you guys have is pretty great. It's an open window, and I think that'd be awesome for him to take advantage of it. But going back to his skills, specifically his skills, unquestionably, I'm with my guy. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that if he comes back, let's say he comes with us in January, he takes that win. There's no question about it. The work that he's putting in right now is better than what he looked like months ago. There's no question about it.
No, well, Eric, and we expect you to look way better than you do today on January. It's without question for everyone to progress if they're putting in the work and the time. I'm just more about the principle of it. You know, I lost, I want a rematch. Look at Jose. He's a man of principle. He won a tight fight. The public felt it was tight. He's giving the guy a rematch. He's not trying to sing and dance and get another fight, an easy fight and parade with the title. No, he's giving the guy a direct rematch. And that's why we've been respecting Jose around here. He's been a stand-up guy from the very beginning. But listen, Eric, I can't wait to meet you. We're going to party hard in Los Angeles, win or lose. I know I'm winning. I don't know about you, but win or lose, we're going to party hard. I can't wait to meet you and your brother. You guys have definitely brought some excitement to Border Wars. We appreciate it. We're going to go now to your brother's opponent, Santiago, in Los Angeles. Santiago, what's going on, brother? What have you heard thus far, man?
I mean, you know, I'm very excited. I'm very happy to be hearing, you know, Chris on the line. And I, you know, obviously have to, you know, call in. And I want to give him a congrats to taking the fight with me, picking up the ball that Eddie dropped and going with it, you know, being dedicated and motivated to the fight. And I look forward to putting on a good fight with him come January 16th.
Hey, Santiago, I like that little silent subliminal, you know, like, it takes a true Border Wars fan to know what you just did there. I like that. So listen,
You ask about Zach?
I'm gonna ask you about Zach. Yes. Before we get to Chris, it was not rumored. We have it on a pretty good source that Zach had entertained coming back to Border Wars for season 2 a second time. And there was a possible match presented between Zach, my previous opponent, and Eric Cruz, the man to slay Angelo Huracan from Olympia's boxing gym in Canada. So I said to myself, I think that Santiago and Zach fight would be a much better fight. Not to say that you don't have an opponent, not to say that you're not fighting Chris, just stylistically, thinking about it. That Zach and Santiago fight, I mean, Zach has a name already. I mean, first of all, how do you feel about that? What's that sound like when you roll that off your tongue? How's Zach, or excuse me, because he lost already. How's Santiago from LA versus Zach McDaddy Kramer from Canada? How's that sound?
Well, it sounded good. I mean, right off the bat, you get very straight contrast in just appearance. I'm not, that build. I don't have that athletic-looking body. And Zach is basically your consummate, athlete. He's pretty ripped. He looks good. He looks like a natural heavyweight. And it would have been an interesting matchup, in my opinion, to see how I would fare against a guy like that.
All right.
Key word you just said there was if Santiago, and I'm your promoter as well, but I'm gonna put on my my commentator hat now.
Okay, commentator. I like it when we're commentators.
Yes.
Okay, go.
You said if. Does that mean that you are set on fighting Chris?
Oh, I'm set on fighting Chris, but you already know that for however long Border Wars keeps going, I will be a participant. And if Zach ends up being someone I can fight if I get past Chris, then believe you me, I would love to have that fight too.
Who do you think is more skilled, Chris or Zach?
I think Chris.
Yeah, Chris has some things that, in my opinion, will present some trouble to me. When I looked at Zach's fight against Ness, I didn't really see much. Obviously, I did see two hesitant, athletes there fighting with the cameras on and everything after all that training. And honestly,
another shot. I love it, Santiago. I love it. You and Cruz, you like little secret little ninja, dissers and shit. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but at the same time, too, I would imagine that Zach would improve on from his experience with a guy like you, Ness. Two different styles, two different physicalities altogether. You're 6'5", I'm 5'10". It'd be a complete different fight altogether, and I could imagine you'd feel more comfortable with a guy.
60 seconds.
Yeah, I'd agree he'd get a little more comfortable with you too, and I don't think the fight would be as paced as mine. I just feel like Chris Garcia is a little straighter. I think he's a little cleaner with his, like he says, el natural. I really think he's naturally a little more of an athlete than
maybe not
Zach.
Athlete, but a boxer.
I think athlete, because I know people will get it confused because Zach looks the
like
athlete.
Yes,
this guy, his moves are coming naturally. I think that, and also Santiago, I'm gonna thanks again for calling in, but I'm gonna just repeat what I said earlier. I think that fighting Zach for anyone, it's a direct lineage. No matter how ugly you think my fight was, it's a direct lineage to me. It's like fucking Anthony Joshua beating Vladimir Klitschko after him being who he was. It's like, yo, he's got that name. We're gonna go back to that heavyweight division, see if he's got himself freed away from work. Marvin, what's going on, brother?
Hey man, I was trying to get back at your question. My bad. I was trying to park. I just got here to the State Fair.
Man, stay away from them fucking what was it that Cruz was eating the other
ribs,
day?
Or whatever, any barbecue.
I know
items.
you and Cruz stay at them state fairs. Y'all gonna be heavyweights forever.
Don't eat anything barbecue or fried. You're on a diet.
Yeah, I heard you guys endorsed by Wingstop.
One time. Okay. Nah, but to talk to you about what's his name? The one that supposedly fighting Cruz now. Big boy.
Well, not supposedly, man. Not supposed. He sent in what do you even call that? He sent the challenge, I guess.
A challenge video that was very Canadian-like.
That's to me, man. To me, that's weak. Because after he seen my video, how you not just gonna duck? You're gonna completely leave Border Wars, and then you want to come back and then fight Cruz, a lighter guy. That's weak, man. That's weak.
That's how I feel, bro. And I don't even think that it's a good fight with him and Cruz. You know what I mean? I think that I don't even think it's a good fight with you, honestly. Like Chris, you know. I think that you naturally look better, and I think it's a bad fight for him against you. You know, but
oh yeah.
It is what it is.
I got my eyes on somebody specifically, but it's gonna have to be after Border Wars 2. But of course, I gotta make it past Border Wars 2 first. But
yeah, I hear you, big baby.
That's not a competition.
I hear you, big baby Miller.
Okay.
You at the State Fair? How many cheeseburgers, big baby Miller?
Oh no. We getting into cardio. This is cardio day. We getting into cardio
at the State Fair.
Yo, why you stunting? Come on, man.
They're gonna do cardio, running back and forth to the cotton candy.
Yo, we know Team Texas has an issue with cutting weight. It's okay.
Yeah.
Ain't no biggie, baby. When it comes.
Look at
January,
Info Joe
ready
on the chat. Oh man. Well, all right, Zach. I mean, damn, I'm about to call you Zach. Listen, Marvin, man, we're gonna wrap this one up. We got to get to our flagship show, but definitely apologize for that, and definitely want to thank you personally, obviously, for signing up to Border Wars and being a Patreon, and like Anthony and Chris and Eric and Matt and myself, you know, stepping in that ring, man, lacing up those gloves, not just talking on social media, not just saying you want to fight, actually getting in the ring and fighting, being recorded, training, putting in that work. And, you know, going down that camp road. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Border Wars. We are back in about 27 minutes with our flagship show. Remember,
join us every Thursday and Sunday live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Whoa. Wait a minute. We just got a call on the bat signal. We got Eddie. Oh, excuse me. Robbie Hearn, the cousin of Eddie Hearn. The brother, the uncle.
I thought you were going to say Eddie from Las Vegas.
Eddie.
R.I.P. Eddie.
DivasVoice Productions.
BJ was gonna beat me, then yeah, you predict he's gonna beat me. He got smashed.
Why isn't Wilder sold out 90,000? This guy has been pro for like 8 years, 9 years. If Wilder wants some of his work, you can definitely get it on ASAP.
BoxingVoice.com. Hey fellas, how you doing?
What up, Robbie Hearn?
You hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah. How you doing? Yeah, just a few points. First of all, you said Matt's over here eating salad and he's doing good. So I guess that was Diet Henny last night, was it?
Well, no, that's a little bit of alcohol, but you know, alcohol turns the sugar in the system, and sugar, you piss it out or you run it off.
Yeah, okay. But just wanted to say, listening to those Garcia brothers, that's definitely pricked my ears up as a promoter. I think they might want to do a wise move and step away from Bobby Arum and start getting some proper promotion. They sound like
I think you're right.
They're taking it serious.
I think you're right. I think you're right, because think about it. Before this show, did anyone even know the Garcias?
No, they've just come on and done it themselves. Maybe they're going to go down the route. Errol Spence is saying he wants to do something on his own and whatever. And maybe they're looking at that route. But if they want the real promotion, they know where it's at. They've seen the promotions that get put out from TBV Room promotions. So, yeah, it's looking good. And I just want to say to Matty Duva, the promoter, I think he should think about this Santiago and Zach fight. I think there's a great narrative there of, I mean, Santiago said it himself, you know, maybe not the muscular physique against the, the meathead version Zach. But he's also, imagine that on your resume that he's sent over the Canadian backpacker. He's not going to come back from two defeats. He's retired a Canadian. Think of the bragging rights stuff in the chat.
Oh, absolutely. Here to think.
For Matty Duva can just hammer that chat and say his boy retired a Canadian. Stay back, stay up north, stay across that border. We don't want to see you again.
As always, Robbie Hearns, my great friend. Those are great points, but it is obviously TBV West policy that we do not, make deals on the air. Those are behind the scenes deals that contracts are made behind the scenes with the pen,
not on social media,
not on social media, and not on a show with the mic. These are just these are just promos.
I'm just giving you promoter to promoter chat.
I'll put it this way: TBV West will always endorse and support kicking Canadian ass. So we are definitely going to give it some heavy thought.
Yeah,
but Rob,
you really are.
Rob, I will say, wherever there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, I hear you. But quick one is how's Doomy's injuries going? Because this potential main event, is looking pretty grim. He's got a poorly tooth. He's got a poorly thumb. He's got an addiction to Dunkin' Donuts. I'm a bit worried about this big fight that we hopefully going to have. I don't know what's happening there. We need to hear him. He's gone AWOL. What's going on?
No one knows where he is.
Yeah, it's a shame.
He hasn't reported to any of the normal gyms which he frequents. We don't know.
It's a shame because I was listening back to some previous Border Wars shows from the last Border Wars and the immediate reaction to the fights, and there's some early ones of like me and Doomsday going at it, and he's saying your fighter's head is small. I'm going to knock him out in one. And I don't know. Midi came over wanting to hook up with the TBV crew. He met up with Lainez. He would have met Matt, but logistics turned out wrong. He met Enrique. And he wanted to meet Doomy. We could have had a brilliant piece of like press conference almost, or a face-off, just to help with the promotion. And where is he? It's all gone quiet. Doomsday, I don't know what's going on, brother, but you need to sort it out. All the promotions coming from the UK here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, man, we don't know, man. I mean, look, we got 90 days for that one, and hopefully we'll get a little clarity as things happen. But I mean, it's only winter coming here on the East Coast, and it makes it harder for the fighters to run. The real ones run.
He's done all his running. That's all we've seen him do. Run.
Well,
if he hasn't turned around to come home, he's somewhere in Canada right now.
He just posted. There was some sparring posted of Doomy.
Yeah, I saw him in a greenhouse punching a bag. And things
sparring.
Yeah, I did see. Oh, yeah, that's the one when he tried to take the guy's head off and he just ducked it, and we saw the limited.
But how old was that sparring?
The mummy walking across the ring.
Not old at all. That was the same day he sparred Tapia, which was for this Border Wars.
All I'm gonna say is Doomsday's face is on milk cartons everywhere.
This is true.
You can call into the show at 1-425-569-5241 if you have seen him or if you've heard any news of him.
If you have any info,
yes, it's we are very concerned.
Let us know.
Yes.
Anyway, guys, crack on. You know you've got the flagship show coming up, so I'll leave you to it.
All right. There you have it, Robbie Hearn. Listen, man, we want to thank everybody that joined in. This is just an update. We wanted to keep you posted on everything that is Border Wars and where exactly we're at. Let's just make sure that we did that. So in terms of the matchup between Alexander Doomsday Lainez versus Coach Mitty, as far as we know, everything is good and it's all set. Jose, actually, Coach Mitty was here in town and trained in the home of Doomsday, and that's why Doomsday, we don't know where he has been since then.
Maybe got scared.
Then we have Jose El Loco Sanz from Canada taking on Puerto Rico's own Puerto Rico Enrique Casual Fan Church in a rematch that's scheduled to take place at 185 and 188 pounds. And the matchup that was Robert the Legend Ortiz of Escape the Fate the lead drummer, versus Eric El Terrible, aka SOG, Son of God Cruz, is no longer taking place. We are looking for able bodies willing to get in there with the very dangerous Eric Cruz at 175 pounds or even at 195. The man is willing and able. And the matchup between Aaron Can 2 and is it Marvin? Is it Marvin now that's facing Can 2? I believe it's Marvin switched up and is facing Can 2, is on and popping. And don't forget Matt, the Hipster Hunter.
Versus TBA, the dreaded TBA.
Versus the dreaded TBA. Not if the TBV family and army can help it. I think that, everybody pitch in $5, $10, $50 here. I'm donating $50 towards Warren's ticket. I think we need to get Warren here. Why see Matt in a soft touch? Not that I want to see him hurt, but he's putting in the work. And, last time out, Warren made him spend about $1,000. Matt has some true animosity. So at least you're going to get what you're paying for in this fight, in the sense that he's really going out there to hurt Warren. He really has something against Warren. Warren is just unfortunately in a bad predicament right now, and he can't do it alone. He's asking the TBV army to help him out and get him here. And I think that's what we should do. So Ness, Young Ali, myself, I'm going to be taking on Butterbean, Mexican Butterbean, or Big Hayes. It's still up in the air. Mexican Butterbean is all scheduled. He says he's ready to go. Big Hayes says he's ready to go. We'll see what it is. Ness is always available for anybody, anywhere, anytime. I've been to multiple of these fighters on this card's gym, and I'm bringing it straight to them. You know what I'm saying? Catch me putting hands on Robert Ortiz. Catch me putting hands on numerous others, on Patreon. Eric Babyface Garcia, who made his debut here on the show, taking on Anthony Queen City Killer Edwards from Cincinnati in a very intriguing fight. Two guys that are lean, shredded, and ready to go 3 months out. So imagine what's that going to look like January 16th. Then we have a really good matchup with a Texas boy, Kevin Jones, taking it crazy serious versus Fern Gully from LA,
aka Mikey Garcia,
West Coast, TBV West Coast, in a 154-pound or 55-pound fight.
Every Monday through Friday after you work a 10-hour shift, every day you will go to the gym and spar and put in an hour, 2-hour session after that.
That's right. Shout out to Fern. Fern, shout out to you, my friend. I specifically even, lowered my vlog to make sure you could watch it, because I know that you and I are the same. We working every day and we still putting in the work in the gym. Because why? Why go to Border Wars and lose on camera, Fern? You're doing the right thing. You're doing the right thing, and congratulations to you. I applaud you, my friend. Keep it up. Keep it up. Because Kevin Jones, he's a Texas boy, man. He's over there with Marvin, the Tank, Eric, El Terrible. They're not playing. They working. So you better work. Speaking of working, Tony G submitted his footage. He's looking sharp. I think he's lying about his size on BoxRec, Matt.
Tony G.
Looking big.
He is.
But Sal went from big.
Good, man. Sal's looking good.
Sal went from big to slimming down. He's on vlog number 2. He's doing excellent work. Check him out. Put out some sparring himself. And that fight is all good. Info Joe versus Alex Lemon. Another solid fight that's sure to gonna be action works. I mean, with the punch out activity of Alex Lemon, it's going to be interesting to see, can Joe take those blows.
And those two fights right there are both Cali versus Cali fights. So
North Cal, South Cal.
You always know that produces fireworks. And Info Joe being able to take the shots at Alex Lemon, come on, man. Yo, Alex Lemon, man. We're making lemonade come January 2018. I worry about you, man. I worry about you.
So, yeah, man, there you have it. There's only really the opponent of obviously Eric Cruz and Warren,
and me,
which
Warren.
is Matt. We want to get Warren here for Matt, because we haven't even heard from Shandu, who was going to be a a step in. I mean, a duck and Matt. We're looking for 135, 130 pounder for Matt, man. Don't be afraid. Step up to the plate. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We're going to be back with our flagship show in about 15 minutes. So remember, you got 15 minutes to head on over to iTunes. Drop us a 5-star review if you've never done. You got 15 minutes to head on over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice and sign up. Check out all this spawn. Check what these fighters are, who they are. Drop us some messages. We answer the bat line immediately. Plenty of extra content there. Me and Matt headed to Alabama tonight, so you already know it's going to be a bunch more content on Patreon over there. And we got signed gloves, giveaway shirts, all sorts of shit. Plus all my loyal Patreons, all my loyal ones, only my loyal ones. Rob already in the UK, Mitty already in the UK. They already got their early Christmas gifts, but all my loyal Patreons will be receiving a Christmas gift this year. Big bag. Giving out the big bag for Christmas. All right, so I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO and catch my co-hosts.
And I'm Matt Tips Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, and etc. Peace. We're going to be back in 14 minutes. Peace.